I was relieved that like even before she started, that she wasn't feeling, any pressure or stress. And as the whole program unfolded, I was like, and as soon as Cowrie hit the ice, I turned to the person I was sitting with, an American judge on Ilya's panel actually, and I said, Alyssa's gonna win. Welcome to another episode of Milan Magic here on the ground in Milan. I'm Brian Boitano with the fantastic, fabulous Christine Brennan. Well, wow.
This is our last one on the ground here. Last of, I don't know, we need to ask Jeff and Sam, how many? I mean, I think,
how many?
What have we done?
Oh, he keeps putting up hands like that.
I think that means a lot.
He's like, and he just fell over after that because he's so tired from editing. So
and then we also did, and thank you, everyone. I mean, the response has been, amazing. YouTube and, of course, wherever you get your podcasts. We cannot thank you enough on behalf of Brian and USA Today. And, of course, we mentioned, of course, Jeff and Sam. We're going to talk about them
a little later.
Yeah, a little bit.
If we can revive Jeff
and
right now. He's on
and
the
also
ground right
Linda, the great Linda Lever, who has been by your side since you were 8 spinning
years
away.
old.
And here she is still helping out in all ways.
Yes.
So we thank everyone. But really, we thank you for spending so much time with us here. And also the quick hits, which,
those were fun.
I think they were hits because we were
love
able to
those.
give people the
Those
news
were really
right
fun.
away.
Yeah.
So this one is a little different. We don't have a guest.
Yep.
I think people are sick of talking
is
to
sad.
us. No, but we do have us, and we have a lot of thoughts.
We do have us.
Yes, and in many past decades, I certainly have interviewed you. So I think this counts as an official a podcast in every way. Brian, should we kind of just start out with what we have focused on more than anything else, which is the figure skating?
Twist my arm, Christine.
and maybe just go through, this is the end of the road here, about, what we'll remember, the memorable moments, the good, the bad from
Ups
the figure
and
skating
downs.
venue.
Yeah. There were
Absolutely.
so many ups and downs.
Right.
When you think about figure skating, let's start out from the top, the team competition.
Yeah.
Thoughts of that?
I think it showed us and it gave us a little indication, harbinger of what was to come. That is the definition of harbinger. And in terms of Ilya Malinin being shaky in the short program, came back in the long, did great, won helped seal the gold, went flying into the team celebration, Amber Glenn lifting him up. I actually took that picture, which I'm not a photographer, so I'm very proud of that moment of catching that. So, but Ilya was off just a tad.
Yep.
Amber Glenn obviously had a tough, not terrible, but tougher skate. Alyssa Liu was great, although she was second in the short program, but still, Alyssa. So I in many ways, and Evan and Maddie, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, who I know, of course, you want to talk about for sure, they were terrific and won both of their segments, and that was 20 points for the U.S. So in many ways, it kind of telegraphed what was yet to come in the individual events.
Yeah, and Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea. Really, and like you said, I love you said that it's the most celebrated fourth place we'll ever have in the history of skating, which is true because they did their job to get. And I saw them last night at the celebration at the Winter House, and they actually mentioned that they're like, our Olympics was important, and especially because we really, in words that you said, they had that performance, and they will know forever that they contributed to the gold medal of the Olympic team. And that's exactly what Danny said to me last night. He's like, I know forever that I contributed to the Olympic gold medal for the team. And
what a great thing to say. And when he has kids and grandkids, that will be, one of the great highlights. And, U.S. pairs have not been great for a long time, but they were good enough. And it was a math, problem. It was basic math. And at one point, then made it so that Ilya, by winning the long, then could seal the victory for the U.S. So that was huge. And I also think, and I know we've talked about this, but just as we're recapping here, the team event, which has been, especially for the Americans, okay, but, kind of meh, new thing, obviously 2014. The U.S. has medaled in each one, but 2014, 2018, 2022, it really came of age. I know it's still not the same. The 4 disciplines are the big deal. But you agree, right? That it certainly became a much bigger deal, that team event, with the drama as it built day after day.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting this year, and the payoff of actually getting a real gold medal draped around your neck at the end of it. I mean, we saw in Beijing, they waited for 2 years to get their gold medal, and thanks to you, because you kept pressuring the IOC to have results on, what was happening, and they finally got it. But there's, something different about the moment and the American flag being raised and standing there as a team versus an empty box in your hand, and it being delivered by, UPS to your door. I mean, it's just something different, and it added to the excitement of the event.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, and as you know, you got to meet my niece and her husband, and they had tickets. And I said to them as they were leaving, I said, "You saw one of the great events for an American fan at these games. That's how big a deal that team competition was." And when you think of what was yet to come, to have that gold medal for people who we thought, obviously, focusing on Ilya Malin here for a second. You're thinking, oh, there's another one coming for him. Well, there wasn't.
No.
But he still can put that gold medal around his neck.
Yeah.
And I think that team event is here to stay. There's a lot of conversation. Should it be moved to the end of the Olympics?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts
Well,
on
I was
that?
talking to people about that last night, and I think it should be after the individual performances. But people were saying that they don't think it's going to change. It's always going to be the premier first event of the Olympics, and they think it just leads off the Olympics in a great way. Whereas I think that people are going to always save for their individual events, and those are always going to be the most important events. And honestly, the team would have such a blast if, imagine today and all these people skating. Ilya would be able to prove again that he, can skate, under pressure. Alyssa would be flying high because she has an Olympic gold medal. Amber would have another chance to, not put a hand down on the triple loop. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates would, push to get the gold medal that they deserved. I mean, all these things could happen again after the individual event.
And maybe even as we're speaking here, it's Saturday, late afternoon, early evening, as we're headed to the gala soon. But maybe you replace it and have something yesterday, and then instead of the gala, you have the big finish of the team.
Sounds good to me.
I like it. Well, we're going to put you as
Done.
Commissioner of Figure Skating. Listen,
The police of all skating ideas.
I think it would be a lot well, hey, I give my opinions all the time. You'd be a lot better than what they have. There go my credentials for Worlds.
I'm going to take those credentials away right now.
There you go. No, I'm expecting you would give them to me. I think if now they've listened to what I'm saying. Maybe they're not even listening to it. I don't think they're watching or listening. I think we're fine.
Jeff's still on the floor over there, so.
Jeff, people are now wondering, who is Jeff? You're going to find out.
You're going to meet him after.
You're going to find out. And Sam. Right?
Yeah.
But the... So anyway, so that's the team.
Yeah.
U.S. gets the gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So ice dance is next.
Ice dance.
And you know what? I'll start out journalistically for a moment because that was an important few days for me as a journalist because of course it's sports and we talk about the what's going on. But as you know, I also had the opportunity to delve into the issue of alleged sexual abuse, which of course was the issue that then put that French team together. We're not going to go into depth on that. People can read all about it. But, and talking to the survivors and how they felt with the French winning, considering the various, as Adam Rapon called it, sinister energy, that's his quote, around the new French dance team. And Gabby Papadakis, her book, we gave her a voice on the podcast, a special edition of Milan Magic. And, those are issues that I think sometimes I get it as a journalist, sometimes people are like, can I just enjoy the sport, right? I get that. I totally understand. It's an escape. But for me, journalistically, and you know this because you've known me a long time, to take on these issues, to discuss them. If it bothers someone, you don't want to read it, don't read it. But we know a lot of people listened, and if it makes people think or brings up topics, then I think that's important. So, that's how I kind of looked at it. But let's go back to the ice and ice dance and what you thought of that result.
And, bringing up the French team, I just was disappointed because I thought Maddie and Evan deserved the gold medal. They performed well. They had been on, even in the team competition, they, just set themselves up for winning the gold. And there was something happening behind the scenes. And I know we've always known being in a judged sport is always very difficult because it is subjective. and you can't tell someone what they prefer over someone else. But there was just something happening behind the scenes that I think came into play, as we all know it can. And I really felt like they should be going home as gold medalists.
Yeah, I agree, especially when you look at the French judge. It's always the French judge.
But they don't know. Well, they know it because they know.
2002,
it is always a French judge, by the way.
Salt Lake City, the Pairs controversy, Marie Renlagoon, the French judge, and a deal with the Russians.
You remember her name? Gosh,
oh, are you
amazing.
kidding?
Hey, Jeff, you hear that?
Emblazoned in my mind, breaking that story. Finding out that she was going crazy in the judge's lobby in the hotel at 2 a.m, and good source called me, and I was able to go on Good Morning America and break the news that the fix was in.
Yeah.
And that led to the double gold medal for the Canadians, Jamie Soleil and David Pelletier. The Russians, of course, also kept their gold. But it was the French judge. The French were in the deal with the Russians. We're not saying that here, but the French judge was so way out of line with the marks and with Maddie and Evan. And so that's an issue. There is a part of I Stance, as you were alluding to, you love The Godfather, I love The Sound of Music. No one's jumping, no one's falling. Well, there are occasional falls, but rare. Yeah. So it's a different thing. It's more artistic. It's great athletic moves and amazing stuff that they're doing. They're incredible athletes, but it's just it's different. Yeah. So, but that said, it just seemed wrong. The message that the sport sent, going back to what I said a few minutes ago about the French, that was a tough night for survivors and people that had to deal with that. Just a French team put together last minute, and there you go, and beats 3-time world champs Evan and Maddie, but they were so classy and dignified.
Oh, so always.
Evan, of course, carrying the flag, in the closing ceremony,
yes, which is exciting,
which he deserves, and it's his
fifth
Olympics, fourth with Madison.
Yeah.
And if this is the last one for them, they handle themselves beautifully, and they have, of course, team gold and then an individual silver. Yep. So moving from dance to the men.
Woof.
Yeah.
Wow, what a roller coaster! What a roller coaster! I was, I was stunned, as everyone was. It was just an unusual skate in the long program by Ilya, it's like you're like a parent, and you say to the skater, like your child, you're like, this is going to work out for the better. You're going to learn so much from this. They don't want to hear it at that point, but it's true. He needed this type of a performance to know that it could happen to him, and it made him human, and it's going to make him stronger in 4 years. And he'll have to be stronger because the pressure will be immense in 4 years, because he was such a given to win this gold medal. It would have released a little pressure if he had won this gold medal, and he would be going for 2 gold medals in 4 years. Now, how it stands, he'll be 25 when he skates for that second gold medal. That's right in the peak of male skater performance time. So he'll do well. There's a lot of things that can happen in 4 years. There are injuries. He's trying to push the sport in many ways, and he does things that really could, hurt him.
Sure.
So, I think that we are going to see him come out like a bull out of the, into the stadium, and he's going to just be charging ahead at the World Championships, and he's going to skate crazy great. Mm-hmm. And he'll have a lot of those performances. So he's, by talking to him, I talked to him, and I, just like let him know that everybody still believes in him, and he seems to be doing fine. He's literally.
You've seen him at the Winter House.
Yeah, at the Winter House, and we've talked to him. Yeah.
And I noticed.
And you talked to him too, right?
Absolutely, and all the people around him. I think people feel. He's doing okay, and he's brought up these issues. With his posts and talking about the pressure, and all the online awfulness and hatred, and I think this is where I become a bit of a Pollyanna, where I hope that first of all, that he's, by posting these things, it's helping him.
Yeah.
But if there's one young person out there who is having a tough day or is very concerned, and they read Ilya Malinin's post, and there's obviously thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people reading his post, and maybe that helps them through their day. A young who's having it says, hey, if Ilya Malinan can talk about this, maybe I can talk about it, or maybe I'll be okay. I do think that that the role model aspect of this is huge for someone like him.
Yeah.
And he's embraced that.
Yeah.
And we also know they've got to be on social media.
Yep.
And their sponsors want them. This window is relatively small.
Yep.
The Olympics end, and for some of them, they kind of go to the dark side of the moon. It's because here we go right into NCAA men's and women's basketball and Major League Baseball. And so they've got to do this. They've got to do it. But then that puts pressure on them, too. Simone Biles dealt with that in Tokyo 4.5 years ago. So these are all these issues. But no, I think, and I will say this, that the French Alps, the Olympics in 4 years, wow. When he takes the ice.
Oh, my gosh.
As, we'll presume he's there, he should be, and, knock on wood, and he's not injured. That's going to be quite a moment. And when we're doing Milan Magic in the French Alps,
yeah, exactly.
Our marketing people will probably work on a better name for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever it is, we will be talking and talking and talking about that pressure, short program and long.
Yeah.
Presuming he is there 4 years from now, and there's a long way to go between now and then for sure. But what a good person, and again, the way he handled it that night. I've written columns. We've all talked about it. Class act. Dignified.
I think he even got more attention than even if he would have won the gold medal, as how he handled it as such a mature individual. I mean, he showed real sportsmanship, real class, and he always has. He's always been a great competitor not in the way in that he skates well, great competitor in that he never looks down on his competition. He always respects the other skaters. He's always showed that, so I knew that was a side of him.
Oh, and he did it. And again, we've said this, but I think it's worth saying again as we're, closing out our time here on the ground in Milan, that how many football players have I watched in locker rooms and we've seen on TV throwing helmets and getting furious, and you get all kinds of people that don't. Tiger Woods even would not. He was miserable and wouldn't talk, and yes or no answers, and leaving the press conference in anger, and they all get to do it again a week later.
Yeah.
Ilya's got to wait for this stage. As we said, 4 years.
4 years.
Amazing class act, and I do agree. I think there are people who either wouldn't have paid attention or really didn't even know what was going on, who now know about him.
Yep.
And I think there's opportunities for him to really take that and run with it too. How he handled it, no surprise, great family, and just a wonderful person. So, the men, and then shall we move on? And of course, how weird though to think that there's no U.S. medal in the men.
Yeah,
because of course Ilya, we thought, we gave him the gold, which we should learn. All of us need to know that. Obviously, you got to actually play the game and see what happens. But then also, of course, no silver or bronze. So that was certainly unexpected. The pairs. What was the takeaway from the pairs?
The pairs. Our pairs have always struggled. Our pairs have always struggled in being at the top of the world. We had pair world champions a few years back. Also because the Russians aren't allowed in the pair competition, so that helped a lot because they have always been a dominant force in pairs competition. Our pair program has struggled, but Danny O'Shea and Ellie Cam went out there and didn't skate their best. They had a pretty good short program, and in the long program, they had some trouble. But Spencer Howe and Emily Chan really stepped up to the plate because they ended up higher than Danny and Ellie because Danny and Ellie had such a disappointing long program. But they skated well. Spencer and Emily skated really well. So it's actually one of a higher result than we've had in a couple years in the Olympics.
Well, exactly, and of course they weren't even going to necessarily be here if it weren't for the citizenship issues with the number one pair, the national champs, and that of course is an issue we've discussed, and that's the way that goes. And the U.S. does not, take 1 second to give people citizenship the way, say, the French did for the ice dance. But okay, that's the way we do it, and that's So I think you're right for being both pairs, kind of like because there were two other pairs that could have gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they come here and they acquit themselves beautifully. We've mentioned the team competition, saving the day, and then you're right. And they have their Olympic moment, and I know you've seen that. They seem to be at the Winter House like almost every night.
Oh, they are. Yeah. He is. I think Danny's the mayor of Winter House, and Danny's dad is the super mayor of Winter House. I mean, they're there every night having a great time. He's just such a lovely guy. They're both lovely people. And
you're
it's just so
president
fun.
of Winter House.
I am presidente.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, there's Boitano's Lounge.
I know, we have Boitano's Lounge. They've been really loving
It's
the
gone international
cocktail.
now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great because I've done it as a pop-up in the U.S. Figure Skating Championships for 4 years now, and then the World Championships. But people are loving it. I mean, it's really fun, and it gives everybody an excuse to hang out together. And it was packed in there last night when we were doing Alyssa Liu's celebration, and hockey was packed for the women's hockey team. And Jordan Stoltz was in there, so all the ice sports get together, and we just hang out with each other, and it's a late night thing, and we all really just love talking about the Olympics and other sports.
And if you want to find out more about this, you can go to Brian's Instagram, where there are 10,000 photos and videos.
10,001.
10,002. And showing all the fun. I went over one day, and it's a beautiful location.
Yeah, it's a great location.
You are in your element. It is spectacular.
Yes.
And there better be a Boitano's Lounge in the French Alps.
And in L.A.
And yes, first LA,
Right, LA,
then the French Alps, then Brisbane.
We're working on it.
Then Salt Lake City. We've all gone out now to 2034.
Exactly.
We're even
We're
breathing.
going to be
right. Yes.
Canes.
So, okay, pairs. And then I think there's that one last little event known as, used to be the ladies, now the women.
The women.
I mean, I know we're going to, by the way, folks, we're going to give you our favorite performances in bronze, silver, and gold format. But before we even do that, let's dissect what happened and how fabulous it was for the United States and Alyssa Liu.
And for Alyssa Liu. And also, Amber Glenn, she came out and she fought, she did it. She pulled it out. She skated really, really great. I mean, she skated great. That's probably the best triple axel I have ever seen from a woman in competition ever. She's just amazing. She had a goal, and she was focused and relaxed, and she was the Amber Glenn that we all know and love. Skating really well, pulling all the way up. Have you seen anyone ever pull from 12th to 5th?
It was 13th.
13th, oh, right.
Yeah.
Because,
13th after the short.
To 5th.
To 5th.
Yeah. Amazing.
I mean, obviously, you could never do that in the old days with the ordinals, but
exactly.
But no, she was sitting in the first place seat. They've got this. It's like reality TV now. That didn't happen before.
Yeah.
You would have been sitting there having to watch Brian.
I
Mercer.
would never have sat
my
there.
gosh.
I would have been up and out of there
you would have had
so
a coronary,
quickly. I'm like, sorry.
And, well, exactly. So think about that. Right? You were able to go back, hide, and
I know.
and see what happened. But Amber Glenn was sitting in that darn seat so long, I swear she could be voting there in Italy. I mean, but you couldn't have a better emissary in person.
Absolutely.
She's hugging everyone. She's supporting everyone. She's applauding for everyone. They're her competitors, just like Alyssa Liu did at Nationals, cheering for Amber. On and on it goes. So, I mean, just I'm glad Amber got that attention. She got.
Too.
When I'm saying TV time, and FaceTime, I don't mean it that way. I mean it that everyone who's watching can see, hey, she's in first place. An hour later, she's still in first place. And what she did, I'm sure folks have seen it. If not, definitely go look on her TikTok. She took her phone yesterday and did a triple loop and videotaped it to show that she could land the jump.
Oh my
And she said, this is the jump. I'm now going to do the jump that cost me a medal.
Yes.
Because, of course, that's the one that she doubled in the short program when you have to do a triple or you get 0 points. Just a devastating mistake. And then she put her hand down in the long, but especially the short program mistake.
Yeah.
So that triple loop, and she just nailed
it
with her while she was videotaping
because
herself.
this is how easy a triple loop is for her, and that's why we're angry with her about missing 2 triple loops, because she does it she gets out of bed, she probably jumps out of her bed and does a triple loop like out of bed in the morning. I mean, it is so easy. So if it makes us angry, it's really made her angry, and she's scratching her head. But really, if she wouldn't have made those 2 mistakes, we may be looking at a different result in the women's category.
Well, exactly, because I mean, let's talk about that just for another second. We can't be sure.
No.
But would that potentially have been above Isabeau?
Above Isabeau.
I'm sorry.
No,
would that
Alyssa.
potentially have been above Alyssa?
Yeah, I mean, if she wouldn't have done that, other people would have skated. I mean, I feel like she would have been, She'd have been up there.
Yeah.
She'd have been up there.
Yeah,
She would have been rivaling, Alyssa in the top place.
Then it's that gold and silver, for the U.S.,
Yeah,
which it could have been.
Which would have been really great.
Going all the way back to
But
98.
anyway, I'm just glad that she skated well.
Yeah, for sure. But
For herself,
it's like a kind of a parlor game now.
Yeah, I know.
What if,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I mean, all sports do that, right?
Yes,
If
absolutely.
someone had caught the pass or if someone hadn't struck out with the bases loaded. I mean, this is sports. So it's an interesting conversation. I did, obviously, Isabeau. Again, I think
It's hard.
It's hard, and she's 18. She
Yeah.
is 8 years younger than Amber Glenn.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And obviously that fall right off the bat in the long program, but then she pulled it together.
Absolutely, 100. I'm so proud of her. I didn't get a chance to talk to her last night, but I definitely want to grab her and tell her how proud I am of her, because it is so hard to fall on your first jumping pass and come back and skate a clean program. I mean, the last one who did that was Sasha Cohen, who fell on her jumping passes the beginning and she came back and got a silver medal, right?
Yep.
So it was, she really fought through it. She's going to learn a lot. She's going to be around for a while, and she truly is an amazing skater.
Well, and just so beautiful on the ice. I mean, I think people who never heard of her, because the Olympics brings people out, and they're getting 20 million viewers or 25 million viewers. So there's a lot of people, obviously, on TV, but also on their devices and social media. And you get a chance to see Isabeau Levito, and you go, now that's a figure skater.
Absolutely.
And because she is 18, we put them together because of the Blade Angels and everything. It's like, they're the same. Not at all.
Yeah, no.
Amber, obviously,
so diverse.
tough fight. Had several near misses, was sick, COVID. I mean, so many things happened with Amber. To persevere, 26. Of course, Alyssa, 20, but then Isabeau at 18.
Yeah.
So there's no shame at all that she does not have a medal around her neck. Obviously did not compete in the team, therefore did not get the opportunity to get that gold.
Which brings us to our America's sweetheart.
Olympic gold medalist, the 8th U.S. woman?
That's so weird. I just had a moment that I was like, she just said Olympic gold medalist with Alyssa Liu's name.
I know.
It was amazing.
So, and we don't have notes. We don't have a teleprompter. So it starts out, of course, Tenley Albright, which was 70 years ago in Cortina.
Yep.
And then Carol Heiss-Jenkins, Peggy Fleming,
Dorothy Hamill.
A long wait to Christy Yamaguchi.
Yeah.
And then
Sarah Hughes.
Well, Tara Lipinski.
Tara Lipinski.
Sorry, Tara. Tara and Michelle battle in Nagano. And then Tara wins that. And then, of course, Sarah Hughes. And now another member of the club. And
amazing.
And it is really one of the coolest clubs in all of sports.
And we got to welcome her to the club at the Winter House last night.
Tell me about
that. All of us, all the women that you mentioned, not all of them. Tara wasn't there, but
Carol Heiss isn't here.
Carol Heiss wasn't there.
Yeah.
But we were all in a circle and it was Scott Hamilton and myself, and we were joining arms and hugging her, and we were jumping up and down going like, welcome to the club, welcome, because we have the Olympic gold medal text chain, and we wrote
which includes, of course, the men as well.
Yes, everyone.
And the ice dance. Yeah.
And I sent that to her, and I said, "Hey, you haven't answered our text chain." She goes, "I haven't answered any. I haven't opened my text. I haven't slept in." She said the cutest thing to me. I found her back in this room, like with her hoodie on and sitting on this exercise machine in the hotel, and I wanted to just say hi. I haven't seen her yet, and she said. She looked at me and she goes, "How come you didn't tell me what would happen after?" And I said, "Because I didn't want to ruin your mojo, because that's what she's all about, not worrying about the after." And she goes, "Okay, I get that." So, but it was so cute. How come you didn't warn me about what was going to happen after?
That's right. Looking to you, you're going to shelter her and tell her, "Just wait, kid."
Yeah, it's going to be wait till you get back to America. That's
right.
when,
Oh, well, just the delight of all delights. I've never seen anyone, I've covered skating since '88, since Calgary, and the Battle of the Bryans, Battle of the Carmens, and I have never seen someone go through an entire program smiling.
Yeah.
And again, I know we've said some of this for those who've listened to us, but obviously we're doing a recap, so it's fun to just kind of relive it all. Yeah. I mean, we know what the pressure is because we saw Elia. We saw how hard it is.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of the men. The men, a lot, had real trouble. The women, not so much, actually, the last group. But the pressure, the intensity, and that Alyssa Liu goes out there. Now, has been that way since she came back, right? But to then keep that going, right, it's remarkable that, yes, you can be upbeat and happy, but when will it hit you? It never hit her.
Yeah, it never hit her. which I'm so happy about. And actually, her coaching staff, I saw them congratulating them because they were, I see them, twice a week on the ice. So I skate with Alyssa twice a week, and so I wanted to see them. And Massimo and Philip said that all day long they just felt like they were so relaxed. They were like, "This is going to be a fun ride." I mean, they just knew that it was going to be sailing like that, just groovy Alyssa time and groovy Alyssa feeling. It's, and it was so cool.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
talk over you, but I felt the same,
No.
as journalists, we're not cheering, obviously. We don't applaud. We're taking notes. We're typing. But there was something, you always feel, even the Battle of the Bryans.
Yeah.
I didn't know you at all. But, it's like your heart just leaps a little. We're human beings.
Yeah.
And Christiane Maguchi, I remember, I didn't know her at all, but this is quite a sport. There's nothing like the drama in figure skating. It really is extraordinary. And so with Alyssa, I never even had that thought at all.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point of what you're saying, that what she was exuding and what she was talking about, like, I don't care about winning medals. I want everyone to watch my dress. I want to be in the gala. It was real. It was all real. There was not 1 ounce of it that was a put on or fake. And boy, oh boy, if sports psychologists around the world could bottle that, wouldn't it be something for sports across the board?
It would be amazing. And the thing is that she had been asked, and you and I had talked about this on Milan Magic. She was being asked about it so much. I was worried that it would sort of get into her psyche, and that she would start to actually feel pressure. So I was a little bit nervous going into the long that, like, if it's going to get in there at any point from all the watering this seed that the press planted in her head has done, it would be that moment like we saw with Ilya Malinen, because that seed blossomed right when he hit the ice. And so I kept checking her face and her shoulders and how she felt, and I was like, okay, she's still feeling good. I can tell. So I was relieved that even before she started, that she wasn't feeling any pressure or stress. And as the whole program unfolded, I was like, and as soon as Cowrie hit the ice, I turned to the person I was sitting with, an American judge on Ilya's panel, actually, and I said, Alyssa's going to win. Yeah. Hadn't seen Ami, the 17-year-old Japanese girl skate, but she was a girl. She's a girl. She's not Olympian presence. And after Cowrie made one mistake and then another sort of call on her jump takeoff, I'm like, Alyssa is going to win. I just knew it.
You could see it in her face, and I know we talked about this on the quick hit, but the cheers and then the score, and Cowrie is just circling around waiting, and she hears that and sees that.
Yep.
It reminded me a little of, there's some similarities, some differences, but Tara Lipinski and Michelle Kwan.
Right.
Michelle didn't make any mistakes. She
didn't do a little, she had a bobble.
She didn't do triple.
She flipped out of her triple flip.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she did. It was a little
right,
bit,
but she would. Michelle Kwan
Still
would have won
good.
every gold medal,
Absolutely.
Other than the one she was going for that
100%.
night. I mean, the power and the strength and the jumps she had
Yeah.
compared to any other competition.
Yes.
But she ran into that incredible joyride of Tara Lipinski, who kind of grabbed the judges by the throats and said, "Come along with me these 4 minutes."
Yep.
And maybe out of 100 times, Michelle wins 95.
Yes.
Maybe she wins 99.
Yes. Yep.
But that one time, Michelle was cautious. We understand pressure galore on her. You love Michelle. I love Michelle.
Yep.
Ambassador to Belize. I mean, what a rock star Michelle Kwan is. We can't say that enough. Just a class act in every way, and such a great champion. 9-time national champ, 5-time world champ, 2 Olympic medals. So. Yay, Michelle Kwan, terrific human being, and what a delight for me to cover.
Yes.
And obviously, you've known
Yes.
forever and
Yeah.
helped and been a mentor to. But there was that similarity of the way Alyssa played that role of Tara, and then Cowrie. Difference was that the skate order.
Yeah. I mean,
because Tara came after Michelle.
Yeah, exactly. And Michelle had the Ilya type of pressure on her. I mean, people were going like, Michelle Kwan will be the Olympic gold medalist. I mean, it was like a
Done
given.
deal.
So
Done deal.
she actually had that Ilya pressure on her, and she still delivered a program like she did.
Yes.
So let's remember that as well. One little slip, but Tara just came out like a firecracker. She was just like, she had an espresso right before she got on the ice. She was like, like just so much energy and just spunk.
And that's what the judges could relate to, and the same with Alyssa.
yeah.
Now, again, there are differences, definitely differences in age, certainly. Alyssa, is a more mature skater,
Yeah.
different kind of program, the whole shebang. But there was that element of kind of the favorite
Yep.
and the pressure versus the one that has no pressure. But again, Alyssa's also, Tara was the world champ the year before, and Alyssa was the world champ. There you go. Maybe I need to pursue this
There's actually
angle a little more.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, so I think Ilya's the first person that was a world champ the year before to not win the Olympic gold medal in I don't know how many years. Scott Hamilton told me this, so it's like it's a stat from him.
You didn't the year before.
No, I didn't, and then I won. But whoever won, wins
So
usually,
who between
exactly,
you
right,
and
exactly,
Ilya?
Yeah.
But it is, and that was the old days in particular, and we're getting into, deep into inside baseball and inside skating here. But the old days was the World Championship usually kind of got you set then to win the Olympic gold medal.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so that's that. So I got an idea. We teased it a few minutes ago as we're closing here on, Milan Magic and the fun that we have had. And man, this is what a blast.
It's been fun.
Yeah. The favorite moments of these Olympics. And I think we could do, kind of rate them as
All sports.
Yeah, all sports, not just figure skating. And we'll say a bronze, meaning our third favorite moment, and our silver and gold. I think people can figure that out. Should I go first, or should you go first?
You go first.
Okay, so for bronze, I will go outside of figure skating, and I will pick Michaela Schifrin's slalom run.
Yeah.
What a gem of a human being she is. So thoughtful, those quotes, those sound bites. If people haven't focused on her, Google her. Fighting back, 2014 she won her first gold. 2018 she had a second, then a shutout in Beijing. Her dad passed away in an accident at home. She's had a major injury, PTSD from that. She's talked about that, Brian. And all of that is coming to bear at the start, of that slalom, and she had a huge lead after the first run. But still, it's ice and snow, and you're curving and turning. I remember watching it in my hotel room, and you kind of just hold your breath for. I've never met her. I've never met Michaela Schifrin.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've written and talked about her, but I've never met her.
That's interesting.
And she did it.
Yeah.
And the joy and just, she should be, Michaela Schifrin's the kind of person who should leave every Olympics with at least one Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
In the terms of not only the greatest ever in her sport, won everything, World Cup, the best ever, most wins for sure, but also just as a human being and a role model.
Inspirational role model to everyone. Yeah.
So she did it. So that's my third.
Should I do my bronze?
Yes, you should do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my bronze is, I think, the U.S. figure skating team getting the medal, because like you said, it really brought it to the forefront for the first time as a really interesting, dynamic Olympic event we haven't seen in the past. And to have them get the gold medal draped around their necks for the first time in live, with the American flag and the Star Spangled Banner playing, it just made me feel great for everyone, and they all skated so well. I mean, it was a great team competition, so I was excited about that.
Just the joy, seeing them all together on the top
I
of the
love
stand.
that. I wanted that moment. You want to be a part of that squad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they'll find a gold medal and get handed to you.
Hey, can we have retroactive? I think this would have made me like a four-time
exactly
four-time Olympic gold
medalist.
medalist.
Time travel, go back to Calgary and have the team competition, and we'll see how it goes. Yes. No.
Okay, so who's your silver?
So silver, I'm actually going to pick the team competition. The figure skating team competition. You've said it all, but just such a delight, such a fun thing to cover.
Yeah.
And it felt like a major sporting event to me. And, obviously I'm lucky to get to cover a lot of those in my career. And I think that was it. So that's my silver. Okay. That's my second favorite.
My silver is women's hockey gold. They came into the Winter House, and their camaraderie is infectious. You just want to be, with them, being inspired by them. So nice, so young. And just, that rivalry between Canada and America, it's just so omnipresent all the time, in the Olympics. But it was just so satisfying to see them win the gold in the way that they did.
And another, just to piggyback on that, the Women's Olympics, these women have just been killing it, the U.S. women, and it's Title IX. If you don't have Title IX, you don't have colleges having hockey programs for women.
Yeah.
And so it's just another example of the mindset of the American public to have girls and women have opportunities. And of course, Canada's always been great and cared so much about hockey. So now it is Canada has won of 5 gold medals. The U.S. has won 3 gold medals.
By the way,
8.
I called that early on.
You know what
Remember
you
that?
did.
You did, yeah.
In fact, we're going to go back in the annals of Milan Magic.
But I think I just
one.
called it. I think you felt it. I felt
Yeah.
it as well, but you didn't want to say it. But.
No. Well, I might have wanted to say it, but you just probably grabbed the
Hear that,
microphone.
Jeff?
You didn't let me talk. No. All joking aside. So now we've done the silvers.
Yep.
So gold. Well, this is easy. Alyssa Liu.
Yeah, I know.
And I'll
Me
say,
too.
and
Yep.
we've already talked a lot about Alyssa. I will say this. To me, it was probably my most favorite moment covering any Olympic figure skating. You know, the Battle of the Bryans, Battle of the Carmens, because of the uncertainty of
Yeah,
who was going to
yeah.
pull that off,
Yep.
obviously. But when Alyssa skated, she was third. You know, there were 2 to come after her. So even though she was great, the drama of waiting for the scores of Kaori, and then of course little Ami, and not knowing until you look at that scoreboard and you see the number, because of course they're actually saying it first in Italian, so it's not yet popping up, and all you can really do is just look in the left-hand corner of the scoreboard, and if it's, you know, Alyssa got first, so she's now first, and then when Kaori was second, that means Alyssa is still first, obviously, and then when Ami actually then had a third place, that means even before they have said Olympic gold medalist Alyssa Liu, it appears in that tiny corner, and it's something I remember with Michelle and Tara in Nagano. And it is then that second, the second before, you have no idea. I mean, we could guess that Alyssa would win. And the moment that happens, for life, Alyssa Liu is Olympic gold medalist, and that's the second it happened. And I love the fact it's kind of this 2-act play. You've got the competition, but then the judges, and you have to wait. It's not like a basketball game or whatever. And I think, to me, that drama, as a journalist covering that, and then to see it happen and to see Alyssa, and then when she's hugging everyone and she finally got in the frame of the cameras for the big screen by herself because she was just so happy for everyone else in the big group hug. So I think just journalistically, you know, just the drama of that and watching it play out over those, 15, 20 minutes, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think for me, it's beyond the skating for Alyssa. The contribution and the difference that she will make in the world just by being Alyssa Liu is going to be astronomical. And it will be magnified because she's an Olympic gold medalist, and she should be an Olympic gold medalist because she is a great representative of sportsmanship, figure skating. She's a great role model for women, for girls, for everyone. I like the fact, her story of being a girl in the sport and then coming back as a woman with a woman's body and dealing with that, which we've never seen anyone successfully really to this level especially do that. Just the gift that she is going to give the world. I'm looking so forward to seeing what happens next for her, because she how you imagine her and how she seems, she really is like that.
Yeah.
And she is a gift to the world.
She's fantastic, right? Athlete and human being. And it's that launching pad that you used from the Olympic Games to bring you to Milan Magic.
Yeah.
among a few other things. But that she's got now.
Yeah.
She's got that forum.
She has it,
and,
yeah.
And she will,
Yeah.
she's just, as
She's
you
gonna
said.
kill it.
She's just such a spectacular human being,
Yeah.
caring for others before herself.
Yes.
It's real, it's true,
Yeah.
and she's only 20, and we get
I
to
know,
see
I
all of
can't.
it that happens.
Ah,
Brian,
we did it.
have we come to the end of
We
Milan
have come
Magic?
to the end.
Yeah.
Do we want to introduce everybody?
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we need to have from behind the
Yeah.
cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Here
Oh,
he
yeah.
comes in.
Jeff, here he's getting off the floor
There
finally.
he is.
There
There's
he
Jeff.
is.
Sam, get in
There's
here.
Jeff.
Sam, get in here.
Sam, get in here.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank
and we
you,
would
guys.
have Linda leave her.
Yeah.
But Linda is always behind the camera, except if you need to see 1988, go YouTube, watch Linda, the coach by the boards,
Yeah.
as Brian Boitano won the gold medal, and Linda hasn't changed one bit since
Yeah,
1988.
exactly.
And everyone else along
Yeah.
the way. USA Today, we've just had
Yeah, what a great team. Thank you, guys. We appreciate
thank
everything
Christine
you've
back
done.
in the States,
Yes.
Christine Canetta,
Yeah.
the whole gang. Alicia and Rachel and our USA Today sports
Yes.
staff as well.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been great.
It's been great.
So
Cheers.
Cheers. But you know what? I'm going to miss talking to you.
I know. I'll call you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Okay.